Hey there! On Aberfeldy Street, everybody's got a different story to tell. Aberfeldy Portraits gathers the stories of people who live in Poplar or cross paths with our community, showing what people are most proud of and care about, and uncovering the colourful, rich differences that make Aberfeldy a vibrant place to be. Join us weekly as we share these stories, and maybe you'll discover something new.
I'm here in the People Speak studio with my guest. Would you be so kind and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Fulya. I've been living in Aberfeldy village for the last 3 years. And yeah, I'm working as a UX designer. So UX design is actually to define the relationship or the interaction between some digital designs, digital world, and humans. So that's what I'm doing daily. And I have a dog called Chips. She's an elder one, like 10 years old. Actually, when I first adopted her, the vet guessed her age as 12. Well, because she was in a really poor condition and she was a stray. So now we are guessing, just because of all the love and emotion that she took from me, she's feeling younger now. So I can definitely say she's like a 10-year-old dog.
Okay, so she's absorbing your love and care, and that makes her younger. But I'm just interested, what made you want to adopt a dog? And you said, where is the dog from?
So I adopted her from Turkey. Well, I am also from Turkey, so I had some connections. Actually, I first wanted to adopt it in the UK from the charities, but because I'm living in a flat, they were not really interested in adoption. They are looking for some house owners or some people living in houses with a garden. So that makes sense. That's why I went to Turkey, but because they have a lot of options, a lot of strays there, so they don't really choose like a home owner or a flat owner thing. So yeah, that's why I went there and I found her. Because this is my first dog, I was looking for a low energy one, and that's how I ended up with her. She also even has a single eye. She lost one of the eye in probably some kind of infection. We don't really know how the health story of her. So yeah, that's how I ended up with adopting a dog, because I wanted someone, a soul with me, and to give my energy and time. And I also like dogs, so that was the correct time for me to adopt one.
And also it's, yeah, as you said, maybe with just one eye and the dog being a bit older, I guess it will require, or she requires, a lot of your care and looking after and stuff. And you know, I sometimes see people with like these fancy, almost designer dogs. What is your take on that? Can you instill a soul in a designer dog, or?
Yeah, that's definitely a personal choice. That was not my choice, because I didn't go for a specific breed. Some people are really asking for a breed, and that's actually why those breeds are being produced by some people. Well, some producers, some breed producers, some dog producers are really licensed and such, but still it's a kind of specific production for me. So that's why I didn't really went to a specific breed. I just went to adopt a stray. So the breed of Chips is stray.
So she's a mix of different,
mix of different things.
Okay, that's amazing. So how is I don't know how you communicate with Chips. I feel like you're picking up on her mood, of course, and you know, her energy levels. But what does Chips think of this area? Do you know?
Well, our first 3 months were definitely like a trial period, because she wasn't really aware of where she was or who I am. And yeah, she was just looking for food and water and some nice bed to sleep in. She was looking very tired, and she had to have some surgeries to get rid of some tumors and such, because she had some difficulty and pain as well. That was also putting her in a poor mood. So she had the surgeries. That was also a scary period, because the vet was recommending to go slow with her. So And we all know that anesthesia on dogs are not really good, especially at an older age. So it was also a scary period, but we had a really nice vet, so they cared over really good. And she had those surgeries, and she's now taking lots of medication as well to support her being and pains and energy as well. And she's eating really good quality food. I don't know what she was eating when she was living on streets. And yeah, her mood changed a lot. So once she started to look into my eyes and asking for something or trying to tell something, I was really amazed. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is really happening now. We are connecting. We have a bond now. And it took my life to another level. So I started to read and watch and learn more about these animal behaviors, especially dogs. So I learned about how they communicate in wildlife, because the ancestors of dogs are wolves. Actually, I started to learn from wolves and their behaviors and their wildlife and routines, and then thought about how a dog can reflect these, and they're still reflecting some of the characteristics of the wolves, of course, but in a more tamed way. So that was really easy to understand her emotions and her behaviors. And I'm still in a learning process. And once I learned how complex dogs are, or animals are in general, I started to eat plant-based. And that's also something we have negative thoughts about, because when you say that you're eating plant-based, people tend to think that you're not getting enough vitamins or food or energy. I mean, you will be lack of something. So that's why I also wanted to read about it. So I learned that I can get all of the vitamins and minerals, or everything I need, from plants as well. And I also, while eating plant-based, I also had some blood checks, and checked how my levels are doing. They were also doing good. And now it's been like nearly 1.5 years, which I've started eating plant-based, and I'm still feeling really good. So, and the next step for me is being completely vegan in every phase, in every part of my life, like clothing, cosmetics, even the shampoos are being tested on animals. So being aware of those and choosing some really vegan options would be my main focus in the next in the next phase.
So it's kind of coming. So you're kind of working towards becoming fully vegan and fully aware of more than just the food that you eat and the vitamins that you're getting. It seems to me like it's more like it's like a fuller lifestyle. There's a lot of aspects of it.
It is.
Becoming vegan.
It is. Well, previously I was really going on buying some leather shoes, but now I'm choosing no, I don't need leather shoes. So there are really good vegan options. If you are looking for durability, you can find them. And clothing as well. So animal products, or wool is something that keeps us warm, but the technology is really good, and we have lots of artificial things that we can use to warm up ourselves.
So you don't have to always have wool. But what about second-hand wool? Would that be, if there's a jumper that is vintage or something like this, what would a true vegan do? Would they choose that jumper or not?
That's more animal friendly, but on the other side, I'm thinking that still putting on something wool or leather is still promoting it for other people or against other people. So if someone sees that leather jacket on me and would like to have another one, I'm not sure if they will go to a second-hand or a brand new one. So it's still kind of promoting that look, that feel. So I'm not 100% animal friendly, still more animal friendly than going to a brand new one. But so I'm still not feeling good about it.
And it's a journey as well, because sometimes, as you said, people have got leather jackets and leather goods and stuff that isn't exactly maybe ethical or is connected to animals suffering. And it's quite present in our culture and fashion. But I just wanted to ask you, I mean, what is the reception so far from your friends, from your colleagues, from your family about you going plant-based with your food and maybe looking to be fully vegan? What are people saying?
I have a cousin who is a doctor. She was really stressed when I told her that I started to eat plant-based, and she also did my blood tests, full blood checkup, when I was in Turkey last time. And she was also surprised as well because of my results. And she was like, "What are you eating? Are you taking some supplements?" And I said, "No, I'm just eating plant-based." So some people are really scared of my health first. But the others are just, especially my friends, are respecting a lot. So we are, when we are eating out, we are going restaurants who are really serving plant-based food, or we are directly going to plant-based restaurants. So they're thinking about me, about what will this girl eat.
So maybe they're a bit curious, and also maybe there is more options to have really good, nutritious, delicious plant-based food. So maybe people are beginning to be more curious.
Oh yeah, I'm also cooking myself a lot of vegan stuff, so I'm also letting them taste them. So they love all the plants, but still have a tendency to eat all of those kebabs and and meat. But yes, they're open to eating everyone. So I'm also sometimes choosing the restaurant. Let's go to here and eat there, so you will love it. I mean, especially the ones that I tested before. So I'm taking them there, those places, to see how rich it is.
You mentioned you're from Turkey. And from what I know from the Turkish cuisine here in London, there's a lot of meat options. I just wondered, what about your family? What do they think? Is there some kind of, I don't know, traditional meaty food in Turkey? Maybe, I mean, do they take you personally that you don't eat meat? I just wonder, yeah.
Yeah, they're just asking me, what are you eating then first?
Is it mostly your mum just really concerned?
Yes. But actually, the cold starters from Turkey are specifically completely vegan with olive oil and veggies. So that's the good part of Turkish cuisine. So, and that's a little bit not well known part of it. Apart from all the kebabs and fish and all the lambs and the meaty stuff, we have some nice cold starter kind of things, and we can also warm them up and make it hot starter. And when I'm in Turkey, I'm feeling comfortable to eat those. Well, people are just they can understand meat, because there are also lots of people who is not eating meat because of health concerns, but they don't understand cheese.
Okay, so cheese, this is the real controversy.
Yeah.
It's like, meat fine, but cheese?
Cheese, when they ask, I mean, no, completely vegan, not even vegetarian, remove cheese, please. They are asking, well, do you have allergies? I mean, is it really that serious kind of thing? This is difficult for them to understand. But yeah, the other stuff is quite going well. But actually, when I was in Spain, it was so difficult to find the vegan options, because they are seriously putting cheese in anything and everything.
Wow, okay. It's a big challenge then.
Yeah, so the same thing was also same there. They don't understand really. Cheese is, okay, vegetarian. Well, some people are thinking vegan is just not eating meat, so they are thinking vegan and vegetarian is not really differing a lot. But yeah, I also felt the same thing there. So cheese is, vegans don't eat cheese.
Okay, that's quite hard to kind of get your head around for some people. Was it easy to get Chips to become a vegan or plant-based dog? I'm just curious, because I always have in my mind, dogs need to eat meat and stuff. And the second question is, have you ever had a kind of a conversation with somebody who's like a really hardcore meat believer, and I just wondered how that went.
So I generally had this conversation with my friends, and they were thinking, no, there's no way, I mean, staying against meat or anything. And they're also feeling sad for me. And they're thinking, you're just avoiding yourself all of these tastes, kind of thinking. So they are thinking I'm really suffering to choose this way. And Yeah, and then they're just feeling bad for me. I mean, these are the things and what I had with my friends. But apart from that, actually, I have never been in a really strong discussion or an argument with a meat eater yet. Maybe if we can find one.
That's really interesting. Also, what you're saying about different attitudes to people finding out about your veganism, from concern for your health to almost like disbelief. Probably your doctor friend was like, "Oh my God, she's got such good results." Like, what? That's not maybe what she learned at school. I don't know. But also this kind of feeling bad for you. You know, it's like you're missing out on life's pleasures. I mean, do you think you're missing out on anything, or maybe they're missing out? Like, what are your thoughts?
No, well, when I first started eating plant-based, I was thinking cheese and eggs. I was seriously addicted to them, cheese and eggs. And I was thinking that I would be missing them a lot. And to be honest, at the beginning, I also tried lots of vegan cheese options, which are, like maybe 10-20% similar to the original cheese. So at the beginning, I said, okay, yeah, this is what I will taste now, or what I will eat now. But after some time, I started not to enjoy them and just quit eating them, because they are they started to taste quite artificial to me.
What you said is interesting, makes me think of like maybe your taste changes, because it's an interesting point about maybe things that you thought that you'd be so, they would be the hardest to give up, like cheese and eggs. Actually, when you taste them again after, I don't know, a period of, maybe detox or whatever you want to call it, they begin to have a wrong taste. They taste artificial. They taste like you don't want to eat them. So I find that surprising and like good in a way.
Yeah, and now if someone eats eggs next to me, the smell is very strong for me, and it's a little bit annoying, and I'm even thinking, how was I eating this? Even sometimes they put the egg on top of the pastries, even that smell is coming to me like, wow, this has egg on it.
Okay, so you can actually you became more sensitive maybe to smelling and tasting all these ingredients which were just normal part of the diet.
That was not even a question for me before. So that's also interesting to see all of those changes in my senses, in my life. I mean, that's the really big, huge change, which I believe I made the correct decision.
No, it sounds really good, and it definitely feels like you're on the journey, on the path, and it kind of started with adopting chips, but actually, adopting a dog. And I do at some point want to find out a bit more about, about chips and your motives for getting her, and even investing time and money with like making sure that she gets the best healthcare she can get. Some people may think, but it's just a dog. It's a 10-year-old dog or 12, depending, why? But I think it's a very interesting move that you've made, or decision that you made to help helpless animals. But yeah, with the kind of veganism, I think you're definitely on the journey. And it's funny how it started with the dog, but actually became about so many things, and almost like your life philosophy in a way. I don't know how you interact with the world and with people and the nature.
Yeah, it's evolving. I'm still learning in the process, and there will definitely be a lot of destinations on the way. So living to it now.
Can I ask you, what is the hardest thing about the decision that you've made about your diet or adopting chips? Like, were there any kind of moments where you thought, I'm not sure about this? Moments of doubt or difficult moments?
I can say that adopting chips might be the hardest decision. Well, I actually thought about all of these decisions, all of these steps a lot before I decide on the exact day or exact thing to do. Before adopting chips, I knew that I was a dog person, and I started to spend more time with my friends' dogs and the dogs I saw on the streets or anything like that. And then, when the time comes, you're really feeling confident. It's all about feeling confident about the decision you make. And after that, eating plant-based, so I was just scared of eggs and cheese, as I said.
That's the biggest.
Yeah. And But just after I read about that egg industry and how they're taking eggs from chickens and such, and how, well, actually the milk is something, a production of a cow to feed their small ones. But we are consistently taking milk from them, and we're just using that milk which they produce actually for their small ones, for their babies. So when you get into that thought and that perspective, you are making a hard stop there. I mean, okay, no, this is it. So when I feel confused, I'm thinking about those. Why did I make this decision? Okay, so we don't need that cow's milk, and we don't need that chicken's eggs to survive. So those are definitely for different purposes in the natural order.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of Aberfeldy Stories. This episode was made in partnership with The People Speak, and if you'd like to know more or to join the conversation, then come find us on Aberfeldy Street or visit www.thepeoplespeak.org.uk.